Ever since he was little, Matthew Snyder wanted to be a Marine.
He had a drive to help people, I think.
In January 2006, he was deployed to Iraq. Just 5 weeks later, his father's doorbell rang.
It was 2 Marines. And before I even opened the door, I knew what they were there for.
Matthew Snyder was dead. The Reverend Fred Phelps and his Westboro Baptist Church took notice.
God hates America.
Phelps and his followers believe God punishes America for tolerating homosexuals. They repeatedly picket soldiers' funerals, carrying signs like, "Thank God for dead soldiers." The group was on a public sidewalk in front of the Snyder's church when he and his family arrived. But once inside, Snyder still could not get them out of his mind.
The worst thing that I fight now is the anger with the Phelps for taking away that last moment that Matt was here on the earth.
After the funeral, the church took its campaign to its website.
They went on the internet and put on the internet that my ex-wife and I had raised Matt for the devil.
Snyder had enough. He sued and eventually won $5 million in damages. But an appeals court threw out the verdict against the Phelps. What gives you the right to protest in front of someone's funeral?
Do you understand what a public right-of-way is? What gives you the right to cover that funeral? What gives you the right to run a news story about it? I tell you, pick me. The First Stinking Amendment.
But for Al Snyder, the case is about Matthew.
Somebody said to me, $5 million, I'd bet you'd give it up to have Matt back. I would give it up just to say goodbye.
The Phelps have protested at hundreds of military funerals. Again, they're not targeting gay soldiers, they're targeting all soldiers. There's a small group here tonight. They're going to be back at the Supreme Court tomorrow, protesting again what they say is God's retribution for America's tolerance of homosexuals. Katie?
Jan, these protesters are not very sympathetic, to say the least, yet they've got a number of groups supporting their position.
That's right, Katie. The American Civil Liberties Union, a number of journalist organizations, the Reporters Committee for the Freedom of Press, a number of First Amendment scholars, they say the principle is simple. The government can't ban offensive or even hateful speech just because they don't like it. How do you draw that line? It's a very slippery slope, they say. Katie?
All right, Jan Crawford at the Supreme Court. Jan, thanks very much.